Welcome back to Self-Love Ignited. Today we're talking goal setting. We are going to be talking about setting SMART goals, which I think most people will have a rough idea what that is, but we're also going to be talking about tiered goal setting. What this means, I'll give you some really tangible examples because goal setting like this completely changes the game and it can make it so much more easy to reach your goals and give you space, freedom, and inspiration to get there. So if you're in the habit of goal setting or not, I really want to encourage you to listen to this episode and apply this to your goal setting. It is going to be a game changer. My name is Katie Allen, and this is Self-Love Ignited. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Self-Love Ignited. Today on the podcast, we're talking about goal setting in a bit of a different way than you've probably heard before. Now, when you're on your self-love journey, so to speak, we have to set goals. Goals is part of the process. We set goals, we set intentions, but there's more than one way of doing this. All right. So I think that the method of goal setting that most people are familiar with is setting SMART goals, S.M.A.R.T. SMART's an acronym, and it stands for, I have it written down because I do not remember it all the time. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Now that sounds fantastic, but not always applicable. Not always applicable, especially not with this. So when we are working on self-love, when we are healing and improving and nurturing our relationship with ourselves on the inside, it looks like a lot of different things, right? And this, of course, is unique to everybody, and everybody has different steps to get there. That's why, it's your journey, not anybody else's. But when we are setting goals, we have to set goals because we need to take steps to get there. We don't go from a place of self-loathing to self-loving. There are lots and lots and lots of stepping stones along the way. So our goals are the stepping stones, right? So a lot of people really want to set goals of like, I just don't want to hate myself. I just wish that I could speak to myself with kindness. I just wish that I could be freaking compassionate instead of a bully to myself, right? These are things that I hear time and time and time again, and that's great. But what we need to do is then take that and say, but what are we going to do about it? It's one of my favorite questions to ask my clients. What are we going to do about it? Right? There's this challenge, there's this problem, there's this thing, we want to change it. What are we going to do about it? Let's get creative. Let's get an action step. And that's where something like the SMART goals come in, right? So we want to set a specific action. And it might be, if your goal is to like, I just want to be nice to myself, your goal might be every day to practice positive affirmations. It may be to do a loving kindness meditation, right? So like it's a thing that you do that's going to help you achieve the end goal. So that's where the SMART goals come in. But this episode isn't actually about SMART goals. We're going to take it a step further. I want to talk to you about good, better, best goal setting. Good, better, best. When we are setting goals, and this can be for small goals, it can be for like a daily or a weekly thing, it can be for longer. But this is something that I use with many of my clients, and I know a lot of them have said that it is incredibly helpful for them. So I just really wanted to share it with you today. And it can combine with that sort of SMART style goal setting or not. When I'm talking about good, better, best, essentially what we're doing is creating 3 levels of goals. And like, this doesn't have to be complicated, right? Like, I don't want you to think that this is 3 times the effort, because it's absolutely not. When I'm talking about 3 levels of goal setting, it's like, sometimes when we're doing this, it can just feel really overwhelming, right? Like, you have a life. Most people have families, or you have a job or a business, right? Like there's always things pulling at you. And it's like, in an ideal world, yeah, I would do like these 20 things, and I would meditate for an hour every day, and I would be doing yoga, and I'd go to the gym, and I would, be journaling, and I would, like, in an ideal world, all of these magical things would happen. that is the best category. Good, better, best. So what we need to do is get realistic. What is the baseline thing that you absolutely want to achieve in whatever timeline you're working on? So when I'm working with clients, it's either for once a week or once a fortnight, right? For 2 weeks. So it's like, what's the baseline? What is the thing or the things that you are going to achieve in this time period? It's a non-negotiable. This is the standard. This is good. And if we get this done, it's a success. If we get this done, it is considered that you have done what you set out to do. You can hold your head up high, right? When we check in next time, when we do that accountability check-in, how did you do? How did you do with your goals? If you hit all of the goals, you smashed it. Awesome. Right? And so it takes the pressure off. You know that you're taking steps in the direction that you want to take. It's sort of like that 1% improvement. You know that you're doing that, and you can take the pressure off of doing everything else. But if things happen to work out, if you find yourself with extra time, if you're feeling really inspired, we can set like a mid-level goal, right? So good is baseline. Better is like everything in the good category, plus what's the next level? So say you're good, and I'm just making this up. Say you're good is that you are going to meditate for 10 minutes a day. You're going to journal for, 5 minutes a day, and you are going to think of one thing that you're grateful for every day. That's your good. That is your baseline. Meditating, journaling, one piece of gratitude. And if you do those things every day, you've done it, right? Then it is a success. But if you find yourself with extra time, extra inspiration, it might be that plus doing a 20-minute yoga practice 3 days a week. Or it might be that plus attending that Pilates class that you've been wanting to go to, or that plus cooking your favorite meal that just feels really nourishing to your body and to your mind. It might be that plus decluttering your kitchen because it's just a thing that's been on your mind, right? So good, better, it's all the good stuff, plus an up level. And then best is like pie in the sky, the best thing you can imagine. Like, this is it. This is what I want. And when we set goals in this way, it allows freedom of movement. It allows freedom of just feeling like, how is my energy this week? How is my time commitments this week? What else is happening in my world? What else is happening in my job or my business? What's happening with my family? If all I can do is the good, then amazing. And it takes all the pressure off because you're just doing your baseline non-negotiables. And if you do that, you're successful. Better is like a little bit of extra space, a little bit of extra inspiration, a little bit of extra something. And it gives you a clear direction to step up more. It gives you a clear direction to go like, I want to do more, but I know that I can't do like these million things that's on my best list. So what's my next level? And then the best is, like I said, pie in the sky, absolutely amazing. And you know what I've seen, again, many, many times, for some people, this helps them create more space. Goal setting in this way creates inspiration. And again, these goals are, like I said, those SMART goal specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based. Think about what I said before with that example, right? Meditating 10 minutes every day. That's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-based. Journaling for 5 minutes a day, same thing, right? Again, it meets all of those criteria. What else? I don't even remember what the third thing I said was, but then one of your, the better ones, right? Maybe it's decluttering your kitchen. All right, so that's specific. Maybe we need to get more specific. Is it your fridge? Is it your cupboards? Measurable, it's attainable, relevant, time-based, right? So again, we're still doing those SMART goals. We're still sort of using that format roughly, but then we're creating levels. And for some people's brains, you might not like levels. This might not work for you, and that's totally fine. This is just an invitation to experiment. But for some people, this creates inspiration. It creates freedom. It creates movement within this so that they can expand into it instead of just having that one thing and feeling like they can't get there. So I wanted to share this type of goal setting with you simply because I know that it can be helpful when we are on any sort of personal development journey, any sort of personal development journey. It includes goal setting. Right. And a lot of people do this really intentionally, right? You might sit down with your journal every weekend and you're like, okay, my goals for this week are boom, boom, boom. If you're working with a coach, generally speaking, during your coaching sessions, you are going to set goals with your coach and then you're going to check in, right? That's part of the magic of coaching is goal setting and then checking in the next time, getting accountability, getting support to help you achieve those goals. Maybe you are a little bit less specific with your goals and you're just like, I want this magical thing out there somewhere. And it might be helpful for you to get a bit more specific. When we set goals, big or small, personal, business, self-love based, whatever it happens to be, it gives us direction and it keeps us on track for getting there. If we don't set a goal, then it's just a dream. If it's just like one day I would like to be nice to myself. One day I'd like to be a meditator. I would like to be that sort of person who does yoga. I would like to be somebody who journals. I would like to be really kind to myself. I would like to be confident. Those are all wonderful intentions and dreams. But if you do not actually act on them, if you don't bring them to the forefront of your brain, get intentional about it and take action on it, they're never going to happen. So if you are in the habit of goal setting, or if you want to get in the habit of goal setting, I really just want to encourage you to give this a try. Use that SMART, right? I don't use this with all my goals, but most of the time I do when we are taking the steps towards the bigger goal, right? SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based. Roughly work within that. And then experiment with creating levels, good, better, best. Good, better, best. Make sure that you're checking in with yourself, have an accountability buddy, right? Work with a coach, work with a friend, work in a mastermind, whatever it happens to be, and give this a try. Goal setting has changed my life. It's something I use all the time. It is really, really, really helpful. Okay, that is it. This is a nice, short and sweet, quick episode for you. I want you to go and apply this to your self-love journey. Go and apply this to your relationship with yourself. Go and apply this to your self-compassion, to your self-kindness. Okay. And if you are interested in getting help from me on this journey, it is July right now when I'm recording this, when this episode's being released, and I'm actually running a special this month only. All single sessions are 50% off. And I'm doing this, I don't know, I just felt inspired to do it. I know that there's a lot of you who listen who are sort of aware of this, but maybe you're not ready to do a whole like a 3-month package, or maybe you're just not really sure what coaching is, what this experience is going to be. And I know that sometimes starting something new or working with somebody new can be intimidating, right? Or there's just a lot of questions like, how am I going to feel? Am I going to like this? I don't want to commit to this. And da 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 da. I've been there, right? I get it. So I just decided to do all single sessions for this month only, 50% off. You don't have to actually do the session this month, but you have to have booked it by the end of the month. All right. So if you're interested in that, and during that session, we absolutely will be doing goal setting, figuring out what you want, how to get you there, and create some action steps. If you want to experiment with this, we can definitely do that during that session. So all single sessions, 50% off. If you check in the show notes, there is definitely a link to do that, as well as a coupon code. This is 1 session per person. Okay, so if you're interested, please do that. And regardless, use this good, better, best. Experiment with it. Set your goals. Get accountable. It'll change your life. It really will. And I would love to see you on a single session if it calls to you. Okay, have an amazing day. So much love to you. Mwah. I'll see you next time.